מדברים אמזון, הפודקאסט שמקלף את שכבות העולם הסבוך של אמזון, עם עמית רוזנטל ואלי ונטורה, שני יזמים ותיקים ומנוסים בעולם האי-קומרס. בואו נצא לדרך.
ברוכים הבאים לפרק מספר 54 של הפודקאסט מדברים אמזון. אני אלי ונטורה, איתי פה עמית רוזנטל, והפודקאסט שלנו בחסות רוזנטל לוגיסטיקה, מלווה יזמים ועסקים בכל שלבי שרשרת האספקה, מציעה פתרונות שילוח מתקדמים בעולם האי-קומרס ואמזון בפרט. ואני מזכיר שאת הפודקאסט שלנו אפשר לשמוע בספוטיפיי, גוגל פודקאסט, אפל פודקאסט ובערוץ שלנו ביוטיוב. והיום יש לנו עוד אורח מעבר לים. עמית, ספר לנו במה זכינו.
הופה, מה קורה אלי? קודם כל, today I have really one of my favorite people in the world, knowing him for about 4 years already. He's originally from Italia, but lives today in Canada. Maybe in the end he should send us some pictures of what is baking every morning. But besides that, he's also an Amazon seller. So Alfredo, my friend, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for hosting me, guys. I want to just present myself. I spent most of my life in Italy, where I was born. And so I come from an entrepreneur family. So my father used to have a little store. So we got in the sales, in commercial. It was just a very little store, and I grew up in that store. So I grew up in a sales environment. I don't want to get too long, but let's say just we grow and grow and grow. And at the point that we were in the supermarket industry, so I own 4 supermarkets with the catering company with more than 100 people for me in Italy. Say that. Everything at one point went bad, so I just decided to change life. So I moved to Canada with my family, and I started from the bottom again. I was already with the kids of 4 years old, but with the very hungry power to restart the life. So I went there and I just changed completely job because at that time I had too many headaches from the past. So I don't want to get involved again in a commercial business. So I prefer that.
What year was it?
It was 2000, let's say 14.
14, okay.
Yeah, so.
Why Canada, Alfredo? Like, why in Canada? Because in Canada speaking rather English or French? Like, what? Why is
no, the Canada? This is the best question. I always ask the same question to other immigrants in Canada. Why you choose Canada? And everybody says something different. For me, I had already 2 brothers here. So during the process that our company was, a 10 million euro company years, were starting to going bad. We were 3 brothers. I'm the older, and I lost pieces of my family. So the first brother left me at one point because he met a Canadian girl and he left and he came to Canada like 15 years ago. The second brother left me like 2 years after, and I was just by myself struggling and trying, like the captain, the chief in command on a boat going down. But I don't like leave stuff, in the middle. So I stayed there until I can park the situation in good shape and live. And I just choose Canada because both my brothers just invite me to come to Canada and say, listen, the environment here is way better than Italy. And with the same power and the effort that we spend in Italy, here we can build very good things. And that's how everything began. So both of my brother was involved in the hospitality field, so restaurant. It was a new stuff for me, but I got involved in this stuff, and I just would like to start from the bottom doing bakery stuff and pizza stuff when I always spend my time in an office. So my tools was only computer, printer, and monitor, but I decided to changed everything. What happened at one point? So we start to meet some people around. My first goal was to open a restaurant. It was a natural development of my situation. So we were talking about open a restaurant, taking a look and find a good place. And then COVID happened. I was in just a friend of my house, and he had some guests, all Italian, or mostly Italian. And at one point, we were seated around at the table with some drink like this.
Yeah, and how is it called?
Spritz.
Aperol,
Spritz.
Aperol Spritz, yeah. So we were saying, you know, what are you doing for living? What do you do for living? And when I asked this guy, he said, no, I sell stuff on Amazon. I said, oh, it's so interesting because, you know, I always heard about people selling on Amazon, but I never met a real person doing that. So tell me something more, a little bit more, because I was, you know, it was something always interested me, but in Italy, we are a little bit down. So in North America, everything is different. You know, the approach of the internet world is different.
Alfredo, anyway, was it Leo? Was it Leo that introduced you to
Exactly, it was Leo. You know Leo, it was Leo.
Yeah.
So Leo, this guy told me, oh, I used to sell stuff on Amazon. Oh, what stuff are you selling? And they said, I sell like cream for the body. You know, like, I said, wow. So I don't see you a chemical person. How do you do that?
What's the surname of Leo? Because he's very, very, very well known in the industry.
The last name.
Yeah, forgot it now.
Tell you right now. You always call him Leo. It's
Leo Sagivo.
Sclovio.
Sclovio. You know him, Eli?
No.
Sclovio. No. It's a very interesting guy. He always now involved in the teaching companies, doing, you know, stuff like teaching people selling on Amazon. I think he's partnering with some people and doing, you know, whole service for this kind of job. Anyway,
it doesn't matter. Just he's really interesting guy. Eddie. You should check him out. Anyway, yeah,
I will.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy just told me that, and I said, "Oh, I will take a look," because also Leo suggested me to watch, you know, like a classes, a courses of some guys he was making for free on the internet, and also on the side, those guys were selling the software to check, you know, which product, which is the best situation you can do and stuff like that. So everything started like that. It was 3.5 years ago. It was a summer. So I was baking and taking the class online with this headset, and everything started from there. So I decided, you know what, in 30 days, I want to buy one product and see what happened. And I did that. So I just bought the first product, and then I called Leo. I said, Leo, so
wait.
Now I find that, yes.
Question. How did you find the product? How did you pick it up? Did you do a market research, or you do I don't know, drop shipping arbitrage? Is it a private label? Or
do you have somebody that guides you throughout like the process of choosing a product and so on?
No, those guys that were doing the classes online, those guys, the name of the classes was Viral Lunch. Viral
Lunch, of course.
Right. So those guys, you know, I followed those guys. Those guys were explaining all the process and all the parameters to check if a product can have a chance to become a good selling on Amazon. And also they say they teach you how to use their own software. So after, you know, 2 weeks, I decided to buy their software, and I spent some time doing researching and experimenting more than 50 and 60 products. I was looking around everywhere. But during this process, I learned going back and forward between the software and Amazon, you know, the item present in the first 7 pages of the Amazon.com. So after doing this kind of research, like I was more ready and, understanding what was present and what was missing. At one point, so I tried to pick many products, but just one product picked my attention. It was, an empty little gap in the mixed item of Amazon. And I just doing that. So I picked the item as it was from the supplier. No modification, no customization, nothing. I just picked the item and asked my friend Leo, hey Leo, so I find the item on China, but how do I get the item in USA? So he said, oh, it's not a problem. My friend Amit here. Mm-hmm. So his job.
So and you knew Amit before you started to sell on Amazon?
Yes, for sure. Without Amit, I was not here now. I'm not an Amazon seller without this person. They also support me. So for me, it meant everything because I still remember the first conversation that we had. I was just a guy calling him from Canada. So we don't know each other. I have my background. He doesn't know me. I know that he's what kind of job he's doing. So he could be helpful to me, but I am just another customer, maybe a headache for him. But he was kind. And, he was just, no problem, I can help you, don't worry, we can do that. And the first shipment was 200 boxes, like just a couple of pallets.
From China?
From China, yeah. I find this supplier.
Can I interrupt, please, 1 second? So, first of all, Alfredo, thank you. Second, I want to tell something, really, like a nice story. Like, we Israeli, we are from the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
And Alfredo coming from south of Italy, the Naples, right? Also in the Mediterranean.
Yes.
And I noticed many similarities. First of all, like for us, Eddie, as like service providers and what you are doing, but the Amazon world, let's say, put it this way, a lot of people from many places across the world, but I can say that with Alfredo, I had a very strong connection from the first place, a lot because of the mentality. We have a similar mentality. And second, there is a lot of similarity, in my opinion, with the Israelis and the Italian, that based on Alfredo's story, you heard that like the internet, like him being like an entrepreneur, very similar to us. He said, okay, like, let's try and let's see what happened. And it's something that is really like in our area, so to speak.
Yeah, it's really similar to this, right?
USA or other places have the same thinking when they're starting a business or whatever. If it's good or bad, it's a different story, but it's nice to see the similarities anyway.
Yeah, thank you so much, my friend. And I always felt that connection since the beginning with you. And I was just a start of something. Imagine that. It just was like a lottery ticket that you buy. It was a little investment at that time for me. But I say, you know what, I will try. I also try some cryptocurrency and stuff like that around. So I was going in many directions at that time. What happened that the first shipment, 200 box, left China in October 2018. I still remember. 18. And they came in. They arrived in the US. Was December, not even Christmas, close to Christmas. Let's say 17, 18. I remember my first sale on Amazon was 18 December 2018. Never can forget that for me. It was something. It was an ideal becoming true in real life, and that gave me the sensation, the feeling that it was a real thing. And it was something that if I spend, all my energy and my strategy, the same passion and the same knowledge that I put in myself in more than 30 years of retail sales, it was a CEO of a company. So I felt again I was willing again to put myself in the game. I was out of the game and I had no feeling anymore to risk after what happened in Italy for me. But then it was something that started me again, what I have inside me because I grew up like that. But I needed something, and something happened. Anyway, it was just something. I was selling stuff. It was, it was something that it was going. But
how was your launch?
I was okay. So I bought 200 item of the first item, and I saw that it was close to Christmas, and so I had some suspension because Christmas holidays, and then last Eve holidays. So, but anyway, I was selling 2 pieces, 1 pieces, 0 pieces, 3 pieces a day. So I saw the projection and understood that the power of that item, there was some power and some perspective. So I started to think more open-minded. So I say, you know what, I better start to customize the item, so to let this item become more personal. People like this item, I want to put some of myself in this. And it was something not present on Amazon at that time. So I just started to talk very fast with the supplier and say, listen, we need to do this customization. Can you do that? So I start from 1 item, and the item became 5 because I put 4 customization. So people, and when the second order was placed on January, no, I remember still probably in December. So I placed the order immediately when I saw the sales. And the second order was ready by the end of January of the 2019, so immediately. And at that time, Amit helped me. So I was starting a business. So imagine that, I was not ready for that powerful. I had to move my power from 200 boxes to 1,000 boxes very fast in 5 months. And I had to put down inventory investment, shipping investment, and that period, the shipping was twice the cost of now, probably twice and a half.
Wow.
It was crazy. So I had to ask help from it, and Amit helped me. So he listened to me, and he helped me. At that point, I was able to, grow the inventory. And I started to customize, the item became 8 different customization, and then 12 different customization. Whoa. So people start to finding many items.
You're talking about variations, right?
Variation. Okay. So different variation of the same item, but variation very personal. So the texture of the item that I used to sell is, I just pick some texture very personal, so difficult to imitate. At that point, I start to grow and grow. It was tough for me to keep behind the needed of the needed of the Amazon sales.
Alfredo, I have a question for you, please, if I can.
Yes.
I know your story from that point of view, but from what I understand, you kind of a soloist, meaning like you're doing everything yourself. I don't see you like, but you see people connected with each other. I don't see you too connected with people. Like how you get the knowledge on how selling on Amazon, besides like purchasing product, customize it. How are you running the show on a daily basis? Who is doing the task? Who is doing PPC?
I'm doing everything. I'm a one-man show, and I felt like for the kind of job that I used to do in Italy, running a company with more than, let's say, 8,000 items different, because supermarket, imagine, it's an endless item. So I used to work a lot. When I started, I also was doing the other job, like the pizza guy, very humble job. And the morning and night, I was doing the double job because I had to fill I'm doing something with my hand, because Amazon looks to me something that can disappear in a second. I don't know why. I still have this feeling, because I don't see the boxes. I don't see the customer. I am seeing number on a screen. And even if I put a lot of powerful, the feeling for my story, they always have connection. I'm seeing my customers, I'm making a sales, conversating with them. With Amazon, it's very different to me. So I'm still adapting to this. Anyway, I was waking up at 4 a.m. because I had to do 3 jobs at that time. So 4 a.m. in the morning, waking up, start working in everything about graphic. I had to learn graphic, video, everything. It's now online. I made it. I didn't ask anybody to do anything. I was to do by myself. All the sample came to my house. I made the picture, thousands and millions of pictures. I work on them. I work even when I was working on the other job. So I try to do everything by myself, because, there's no better job than the job you do with your hand. Especially at the beginning.
Crazy, Eddie. It's crazy story.
Especially,
I think 2 episodes ago, like there was somebody from Australia, or whatever episode it was. Remember, Eddie, he said, listen, I understand but I need help in everything.
Yeah.
So I took a photographer. I took somebody running a PPC for me. I took everything, and you said the 100% opposite. Like
the thing is that I was lucky, because I picked one item and immediately that item answered to me. So I immediately understand that even I had some investment power. I had to keep everything I could in that time to buy inventory and to pay shipment. That was priority to me. So I don't want to spread it out investment for something that I can do by myself, even if it was cheap. The first job I did, I still remember a picturing. So I made a picture of this item. I don't even know how to cancel the background of the picture. It was something, I never worked with software like that. So I find the fever. Leo suggested me fever. And I called this guy from Bangladesh, stuff like that. He took like $100 to do a very bad job. I was not happy. I said, you know what? I paid that guy. I say, I will do by myself. I will learn. Because it's something that I can imagine this guy, maybe he want to do like 20 jobs a day to make more money possible. I have to focus on my job. I will do just by myself at the best way possible. And that's when I understood that I had to learn some new skills that I hadn't, because I'm like an Excel programmer. I'm more number guy, more graphic guy. So all the graphic, I had to learn about them. And I'm still learning, I'm not the best graphic ever, but something, is working if I'm making sales. Anyway, I started.
I have a question about all of it.
Yes.
When was the point that you understand that this is a real business? This is a business that you need to act like it's your restaurant.
Exactly. So when after the first months, I still remember. So I made let's say the first 20 sales. For me, it was something I already was calculating in my mind. I can make $1,000, $500 a month with this job, like revenue for me. So I can help to pay my expenses, stuff like that. It was at that level. It was not like, I'm going to do business and I'm going to leave the other job to do only that. It was just the beginning, like a side income. But I understood
and your day job was a pizza guy? Pizza guy.
Yeah,
that's
pizza
amazing.
Guy. Simple pizza guy. So I was working with my hand because I have a long experience as a manager. And both my brother try to get involved in managing job. But I don't want anybody in any company spend my resources, brain, during the day, because I want to spend my brain and my idea on my focus, on my goal. that's why I decided to step down, doing a job with the hand, have the free brain and free ear to listen some teaching classes, to do other jobs. So I was working with that, not making great money, but investing on long term for me.
Amazing.
That was my direction. So when I talk with Amit, he doesn't even know, but he knows because I sent him some picture of the stuff that I used to make. I was working, between maybe a couple of customers came to me and I had to stop Amit to sell some pizza. But that was the first thing. And until I didn't see that the job could become something real, something that my family can survive with, I never will lose the second job for me. It was, for me, it was a priority. I had to put food on the table. I have a guy, I have kids. Also, I already changed country, which for me, I have, imagine, 2 brothers in Canada. My wife, every day remind me, she doesn't have sister there. Okay? So it's a tough situation, immigration. It's not for everybody. So I had to fight every day with, to find a balance. Let's say that. For sure, my wife understands that moving in Canada was a great choice for our son that now is bilingual, way better than my English. So he can teach me. He is 8 years old now. It's amazing. So it's something that, make me more honored to be, the choice that I made, the moving in Canada. Another thing, I got lucky because Canada gave me the opportunity to find Leo. And through Leo, I find Amit. And I find Amazon. It was something that probably never gonna happen if I was in Italy.
Yeah.
Anyway, after, so the box became from 200, 550. I remember the second shipment. And from the second shipment became 800 boxes.
Whoa.
And then one container. My first container was 1,300 boxes of the item customized at that time in 5 different variants. And something happened. It was last August that I got one container. Something happened.
2019.
2020. No. Was last year. Was just last year. No, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
During the COVID?
During the COVID.
Okay.
What happened? I used to do only FBA in USA. Okay. What happened? I want to tell this story because this is amazing. Everybody that sells on Amazon has to listen to that. So, Amazon give you a parameter and that parameter give you the maximum amount of boxes that you can have in different categories, like a small item, a big item, shoes and stuff like that. So I remember when I placed my order on Amazon, I had the parameter that allowed me to have that amount of boxes. Okay. What happened that I sent the label, I sent the stuff, the container, the part. But when we got in USA, parameter was changing. The shipment was canceled for some reason because it was not actioned for more than 30 days. I don't know exactly the parameter. I was in panic, crazy panic, because I had to call one of the best colleagues of Amit, which is Ben. I want to spend a word for that guy. It's one of the best humanity person I never met in my life. Other than that, so he tried to, reassure me, we're going to find a way, don't worry. I was like, I was going in the hospital because, I was without power in my body. And we went through that. But as soon as we went through that, I immediately understood that FBA was not the future for me. It's too many limitations, too many problems, too simple for customers to send back. They got immediately the refund, even if they don't ship back the item. I don't want to say bad word, but let's say bullshit. So I call again Ben and Amit. I ask, listen, I want to change. I want to become FBM because I want to have this item is growing and growing. Maybe I need to ship 3 containers, 4 containers. I don't want a limitation. I don't want a problem. They send me anytime I open a shipment, they choose the warehouse in Alaska, in a way, so far away. I couldn't even understand where was the warehouse. It was impossible to me to handle this for the volume and the kind of item I was managing. I don't know about the other people, but for me personally, I had to move forward in a different way, more under control for me. So they suggested me a 3PL warehouse, and I started immediately after that container that went into the Amazon warehouse. The second container that I shipped, it was for this warehouse, and that changed me again the level. Because at that point, I had no limitation on inventory. The item was going very well. And so I started to ship another container. And after 2 months, another container. Now we're going from the 200 box. Yes.
It's very good. Yeah.
There is something small. Like, can you explain for me at least, finally, what's the difference between being an FBM to FBA seller? Like, beside what Amazon doing or not doing, like what's the benefit or the pros and cons for being an FBM seller?
So FBA give you for sure a good pushing at the beginning, because the banner of Prime on that item is something that psychologically and also customer appreciate the fastest delivery that Amazon can do. So for a seller, putting stuff in Amazon is totally like a forgive of everything, any problem. You just need to be focused on advertising, bidding, and all the graphic and all the campaign, all the marketing, everything else, because Amazon take care of all the logistic and the return and the refund and everything. So for sure, you don't spend too much time like you are an FBM, because you have more time. But on the other side, FBM give you more margin if you handle in a right way, more control of your inventory on the long term. I never would come back to FBA if it was for me after my experience, because the control and the chance, the possibility to grow that FBM, this 3PL external warehouse give to me is something that it's great, simply great for what I am, and especially for the kind of item, which is not a small item, it's a medium, large item. For me, it's great. Also, let's say that a 3PL warehouse do also a visual check control on the item if I ask. So I can ask them to check and control the item before ship to avoid some damage, faking damage. Second, the warehouse is doing for me like shipment from outseas, Canada. I also have my website now since like last December I opened it. So I'm shipping in Germany, I'm shipping in Austria, I'm shipping in Italy, I'm shipping everywhere around the world with my inventory in the 3PL. So it's something that allowed you to grow and, to open other channel, something with stuff on Amazon USA, you can do. For me, only good things.
I have a question, I really understand it, and I can feel your anger of the FBA, and I share the same anger. But the common knowledge for FBM versus FBA is that it affects your ranking. Amazon will not promote you if you're using FBM. Did you feel it in your account?
My personal experience is I started as FBA and I became FBM. The thing is, I'm spending, I don't know about ranking, but I think the ranking, you got your ranking after the sales, that you got before. So the kind of visualization and the wishing list that people are adding and stuff like that. And also, other than that, I'm advertising every day a big amount of money. So anyway, on the other side, even if Amazon put me on the 6th page, I'm always there because now for the volume that I make, I spend money for the advertising, so I'm always there. I feel that probably, everybody has to spend some money, depending of the volume on advertising. Otherwise, it's very tough to sell on Amazon. Even with the ranking, maybe, can put you on the 3rd page, and the 3rd page is still not the best. Even in the 3rd page is a great page, but, probably sometimes still not enough.
And do you work with one 3PL, or you're working with kind of 3PL across the United States?
So for now, I'm working with one 3PL, which is also, like everything, like with the meat and like with my supply in China, and also now with 3PL. I like when I find people you can talk with them and you have connection, like personal. And, if you open the phone, on the other side, you feel somebody else that understands you and help you. If you find that, other than the service, let's say the $13 for one shipment, I go pay $50 for one shipment. I always would choose $50 for one shipment for a person on the other side that give me the kind of service that I need. So I always put on the first place humanity and kind of people I work with. And I was lucky because, maybe because we are, connected. Good people are connected. So if I meet presently in the warehouse and Ben present in the warehouse, I at that time I didn't know, but now I know those are amazing people as well, and helping me and always available and calling me and understand me and Zoom meeting. And they also, imagine that damaged stuff is coming back to my warehouse, damaged, taking damaged, real damaged, I don't know, stuff is very far away from me. I got a phone call from the warehouse. Listen, Alfredo, we have 4 pallets now of damaged. We can do fixed service if you want. Can you send us a replacement part? So what we are talking about, FBA put, crash the stuff on the wall, dispose, and, you lose your resources.
Eli, I have to ask you, Eli, what is your, opinion or input, on, there is a lot of interesting things I hear, this is episode number 54. This is the first time I hear things like what Alfredo described now. What is your input, Eli, on the situation here?
I think Alfredo is raised really, really good insights. And I know so many sellers that want to do this step and afraid because we are so rely on the FBA, and we heard about all people that say, wait, if you work in FBM, so Amazon will punish you. They won't rank you, and you don't.
I'm on the first page. I'm on the first page of my research. Of my category, I'm on the first page.
Eli, talking personalized, I'm not sure if he wants to share it or not, but everyone know to what company you are related now, yeah? So if you are representing this company, the person doing FBM is something better for you guys or worse in this case?
We did research a few deals that work in FBM only because they have a big inventory. I don't know if your inventory is large, so oversized, or is standard size.
Oversized.
Oversized?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are many advantages. FBM over the FBA in oversized.
In my category, there is advantages.
Yeah. I think it's really, really interesting. But for standard size,
probably it's different.
Yeah.
Probably it's different. It's different.
Why?
I understand.
Why is it? Why?
Because the cost will be higher at 3PL.
Yeah. Correct. And also you're gonna lose delivery time.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose power on the standard item. So now I'm adding, I'm already realized another item which I'm studying since 6 months already. So we are ready for launch this new item, which gonna come in the new shipment. We are going to ship in maybe in 20 days, in 15 days. And I think, and that is smaller item in the same category of the bigger item. But I think that's going to be, a challenge for me because I will see the power of the efficient cost of the 3PL, and I will understand better the standard size. If the 3PL, the external warehouse, is still worth or not, like the oversized. So from my experience now, it's limited. It's very limited to an oversized, well done item. Maybe I got lucky at the time. I put some power and effort, but also, you need luck in life.
Great insights. Yeah. I think we all sellers that listening need to check. Maybe it will be better for them to work FBM because, as you said, you have full control on the inventory. You have full control.
You have it's very difficult to talk with anybody in Amazon, right? Warehouse is like a ghost in your life. It's somewhere you can send an email, you talk with somebody. Maybe this somebody is living in Bangladesh or whatever, and you need to wait your time. You never had the feeling that you can go and visit your stuff, right? So that's Amazon, good part and bad part. Now we definitely.
It's funny. I want to share a case that we have today. One of our products that we ship with Amit, but it doesn't relate it to Amit. But the supplier accidentally pasted barcode of, for example, green handle with the black handle barcode. And the black handle with the green handle.
Fine.
And customers starting to return the green and say, we have black. We ask the supplier and supplier say, Mo, it's my mistake. All the inventory is switched. Wow. So as you said, I can't just call Amazon and ask them, okay, what you need to do? No, I can't. I need to remove all the inventory to my 3PL. It's a 2-month process. Relabel them and get it back sent to Amazon?
I think, as you said, it's very personal. Maybe there is some people that have only experience of FBA, even oversized or normal size, and they never ever experienced any kind of issues. So they will for sure sponsor FBA until that. So it's very personal. I think now with all this, many people doing Amazon and trying to do business online, COVID messed up everything. So there's many subjects doing. I'm one of them, right? So I never maybe had to think to do Amazon if it doesn't pandemic happen. So like me, there was thousands and thousands of people doing that. And I think Amazon warehouse now is feeling the pressure of this amount of 1,000 new items coming, similar item. Also, my brother, I have a brother that has a own a restaurant. He tried to do Amazon FBA with no success, unfortunately. But so this is just an example.
Is still strong, like doing FBM, like strong, like Amazon, like people imagine Amazon in the world. Doing FBM, you feel the platform is still strong, provide you many sales and so on?
If I feel that Amazon feels strong, if people do FBM?
If doing like FBM, if Amazon platform as a platform is strong as doing like people doing FBA, or you need to generate more sales from other platforms, Shopify, I don't know.
For me, Amazon is the first channel ever in sales. It's strong like a hell. I'm doing also Shopify. I'm doing I'm selling stuff for home decoration. So I'm on Wayfair and other platform now. I'm trying to do, to differentiate the channel of sales. But for now, Amazon is like the best channel I have.
Actually, the FBM allow you to to sell whenever you want in Shopify, on Walmart, on Wayfair.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I think Amazon, it's a great channel of sales. Too many strictly parameters, which should be updated. But so far, Amazon is the best. So the reason is on, wholesale. And he's right until, somebody says something different. But for now, it's very difficult to stay in the strictly parameter because also if you do FBM, you have to, ship in some days and, in some timing, But anyway, if you have a good partner on the back, it's not difficult, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Let's jump to 2022 because we are in the end of the session. What are you doing these days? You're still a pizza guy or you're doing only Amazon?
That's a good question, my friend. I like your question. I like your style. All right, so let's do that. So after 3 years of pandemic, and that was also an opportunity for me to focus on this kind of business. I gradually released my effort in the other job as long as the Amazon and online business was growing. So I was growing on one side, and in the same time, the time that I had to spend on Amazon and Shopify and to grow that kind of business was growing. On the other side, I kept the job of pizza guy, but instead of doing let's say 8-10 hours a day, I was doing 6 hours a day, 5 hours a day. Gradually, I was releasing that effort. Now, at the end of June, I left the job. So I'm free of that job.
2 months ago?
2 months ago. 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I left the job. Thank you. But I want to say something more. So I applied for a job online, in Canada as an accountant marketing coordinator for a worldwide company, and they hired me. So I will start a new job in September, but it's a kind of job that I will do in front of a computer, which I'm already, and it's more, compatible with the job that I'm doing. I still feel the need to do something that gives me a little bit of a sure salary. But that's how I am made. That's because it's me. Maybe after, in a couple of years, if I see, 5-4 stable here with some revenue, maybe, I would not do anything else on the side. But for now, I still have the feeling to do, a job to have a salary. It's just personal. So I finished the experience of a pizza guy, which I enjoyed a lot. I make I gained some weight actually because, I thought that one pizza I make, one pizza I ate. So my wife is complaining.
We order 8 slice pizza. No, you order 6.
Yeah, exactly. No. So that's the story. Now I'm changing. I'm almost doing something, a different job, but still growing with Amazon. And we'll see the future. I don't know. Maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe I will come to you guys and I don't know. We open something together. Why not?
That's an amazing story, Alfredo.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to talk with you. I like your microphone. It's very professional.
Thank you. I have one last question that we're asking all our sellers or hosts. And it's really interesting me to listen your answer. If you're called to win $10 million net tomorrow morning, what would you do with them?
It's for me or for Amit?
No, Amit already answered. I will tell you his answer later.
No, because I guess Amit already has that money, so it doesn't need to answer. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna invest 10% of that money to grow the business I'm doing already, and the 90% I will do some real estate or some different investment. But for sure, I will use part of that to pushing more the stuff I'm doing. I think it can become something great.
What about the restaurant?
No restaurant. Now I want to work from a boat, and I will try to don't do a job in a physical place. I want to keep the chance to move around the world and work. That's a chance I want to do. And that's why I also chose the job they hired me from. It's a worldwide company. I can work from everywhere. And it's something that I want to keep that kind of, mood, the feeling.
Do you think going back to Italy?
My wife prays me every day. I think we're going to spend for sure 5 more years in Canada. And then we'll see. For sure, I will come to visit you. I mean, already. Ben knows already.
Yeah, for sure.
Be ready. I will be there.
For sure.
Alfredo, thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you for having me, guys, and give me the opportunity to talk with you today. It was very a pleasure to talk with you, and have the chance to tell your story. Sometimes people around, you say, "Yeah, stop you, you're bothering."
Grazie mille, Alfredo.
Grazie mille. A voi.
Grazie mille. Bye bye. Have a good evening.
Ciao.
Ciao.